Wednesday. You made it to the middle of the week. It's 19 minutes after 7 o'clock. Get up. Come on, get up. Nice looking day out there. 19 minutes after 7. It is February 11th, 2015. 41 degrees here at the Source. Broadcasting live from the Paddock Mall just outside the WOCA commissary.
It is gorgeous.
And good morning, Robin. How are you?
Good. Good morning, Larry. How are you?
Got a good show, I hope. I trust and I predict.
I think so.
Of course, I kind of know what we're going to do. That's cheating. That's a cheating prediction.
Cheating.
Let's see real quickly. The temperatures are cool right now. 41 degrees is right now. Expected highs today around 70, so that's not too bad. Expected lows tonight. Exactly what it is right now. 41 degrees. Then tomorrow. Highs back around 70, but lows tomorrow night around 30. Can you believe this?
Oh, my gosh.
Lows Friday night, 36. Lows Saturday night, 39, 40. Lows Sunday night, 32.
Wow.
So it goes back and forth. And then even ahead to next Wednesday, it's down to 34. So we're still in the chilly time of the year, I guess.
Oh, I think so. It's not even March yet. Remember, they say March goes out like a lion and then...
Something like
comes
that.
in like a lamb or something, yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, so we're set.
All right, so let me tell you what we're doing this one. I got a lot of stuff to tell you about. The one thing I wanted to talk about and sort of kind of debate a little bit, I don't know that it's a lengthy debate, but there is a movement in the state of Florida that is spearheaded by some attorneys, which gives it some impetus. Is that the word, impetus?
Impetus.
How do I say this? To allow people, or actually it's not to allow them, but it's to assert that this is already allowed, that if you're stopped at a DUI checkpoint, you have no obligation to roll down your window and speak to the officer.
Really?
The only obligation you have is to show your driver's license, and you can do that by holding it up to the window, allowing him to look at it through the window. You can then also hold up a piece of paper that says, I want a lawyer or something like that.
Oh, my God.
And see, I want to talk about this.
Yeah.
I want to talk about this. I don't agree with the lawyers who say that should be the way we do things. I think the police officers who stop somebody for DUI need to be able to have a person-to-person contact with them without the window separating them. Anyway, so I want to hear what you all have to say, but that's my thought on it. Also, there's a war happening, so to speak, put it in quotes, between Florida and Texas. Have you heard about this?
No, I haven't.
Well, it started kind of with Alcee Hastings, the congressman from South Florida.
Okay.
He made some statements, and I'll play the sound bites from the statements, and then you'll hear what he said, and you'll hear why Texas is a little ticked off at Florida.
Okay.
And one of the things that they say in some of the comments is Florida is the one that's going nutty because we are being controlled by the Scientologists. And there's a movie coming out next month in March called Going Clear. It's a Scientology documentary that'll be on HBO.
Okay.
and it's supposed to be like this, lid blower or whatever. Anyway, so kind of a lot of stuff to squeeze into that little 25-minute segment. So we'll do all of the above.
Going clear.
All right. 8:35. That's when we turn off our tendency to offer commentary.
Yeah.
And we try to anyway. It's hard to put a cap on us, but we just read the news for the most part and tell it like it's written. Maybe not like it is, but like it's written, and tell you where we're reading it from so you can read the whole thing for yourself. Dr. Wendell Hall at 9:05. He is the Senior Director for Advocacy and Policy Advantage at the College Board, and he's going to speak about the scope of the College Board's All-In campaign. Do you know what that is? The value of taking college-level courses in high school.
Yeah.
So there you go. So he's going to talk about that if you like that. Troy Pummel and Judy Day are married and fell in love because they met each other online, correct?
Correct.
They have a book called The Mirror Effect, More Than Soulmates, 6 Steps to Finding Your Magical Match Using Online Dating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't go out to any places anymore. Just go on the internet.
Exactly.
This is where you go. You sit at home in your comfy chair.
Yeah.
You pet your dog's head. And you say to your dog, hey, she looks good. What do you think?
Exactly.
Gilbert Hahn is an attorney and an historian, and he demonstrates and explains the operation of 19th century industrial equipment at the Hagley Museum, which preserves the original DuPont gunpowder factory.
That is cool.
In Wilmington, Delaware.
That is
anyway,
cool.
His book is called 4 and 4. He's talking about America in 1860.
Yep.
1860. We're also going to talk about President's Day, by the way.
Yep.
John Fuller at 10:35. He is an attorney here in Ocala with the law firm of Fuller and Fuller. You have a legal question, you might want to call John and ask him that question. I encourage you, if that's the case, call him early in the show because he has some really detailed answers, and you don't want to ask him at the very end of the show because usually answers are not yes and no answers.
Yeah, John is very thorough. Great guy.
Dr. Donica Moore is going to talk about sex, baby.
Yes, she is. She's great.
She works, she's the editor-in-chief of Women's Health for Life. She's the founder and president of Sapphire Women's Health Group, and she's been on CNN. She's been on The View. She's been on Dr. Oz, Good Morning America, and the Today Show, and it goes on and on and on. She's going to talk to us about sexual health issues affecting women who are more than 50 years old.
That's right.
There you go.
I'm in that category.
I'm glad you're in the room. I'm glad you're in the room.
I'm in that category.
It's one of those topics.
We have issues.
I would squirm if I will squirm anyway.
Women have issues.
But I will squirm and allow you. I will allow you to cover for me.
No, you'll jump right in with
You
both
think?
feet. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep,
usually
you do
do.
a great job.
Usually do.
You never back off.
I don't know that it's a great job, but I do. I jump in with both feet.
And you never back off.
All right, this is February, and on Fun with Joe, we're going to talk about historical February, things that have happened in February in the past. It's pretty simple, right? I'll just kind of ask the
Very
question. You have to
simple.
answer it. And then on the Galen Unold segment from Life South Community Blood Center, interesting book that came out 5 years ago. It is called Predictably Irrational, The Hidden Forces That Shape Our Decisions. This is a very fascinating book. I don't know how we missed this one. We didn't have him on. Dan Aiarelli is the author of the book. He's a psychologist. And he talks about how we are all predictably irrational in our decisions. And a lot of this is applicable to sales and marketing. A lot of it is used by very clever marketers and corporations, et cetera, to get us to buy their products and services. How about that?
Yeah.
So predictably irrational. And Galen is, we all know him as the blood guy, but he's very, very sharp when it comes to like business savvy.
Yeah, he is.
And that's kind of why, in a way, he's in marketing right now. He's trying to
he is,
market the idea of donating blood,
Yeah.
And so instead of us paying money, we pay blood.
Exactly.
Which is good for everybody. It's a win-win.
And he's very good at it, too.
All right,
Very
so
good at marketing.
let's see. So that's the kind of the lineup. Let's see what I have this morning. A little shake-up in the anchors. NBC Nightly News put Brian Williams on suspended, unpaid, right?
Yes,
not
unpaid.
paid for 6 months.
Yep.
And Jon Stewart said he's leaving The Daily Show, which is not real news, but it's a
No.
comedy news. It's.
Wonder where he's going.
I don't know. I always thought it was a spin-off, so to speak, of the Chevy Chase thing that Chevy Chase used to do on Saturday Night Live. It was that kind of a thing, remember?
Yes,
And I don't
yes.
know that Chevy Chase started that. I think it was, what's the guy's name, Lorne Michaels or something?
Yeah,
One of
Lauren
those.
Michaels is the
One of those
head guy at Saturday Night Live.
Uh,
He's the creator of it.
all right, that. And there's a
Yeah.
story here in Florida about a sculptor proposed by I think it's a high school student. I'm not so sure. He wants to replace some sculptures of Bill Cosby.
Oh, okay.
He wants to
for
replace
him.
them with another sculpture of Bill Cosby.
Oh,
But the sculpture that this sculptor is proposing He's only 15 years old, by the way, this kid.
Okay.
There you go. I knew he was a young guy.
I'll give him credit.
All right, he wants to do a bronze sculpture of Bill Cosby standing fully naked. Mm-hmm. And instead of genitals, Fat Albert would be down there. And I have, you can look this up on Google, but I actually printed it so I can show it to you, Robin. Here's the prototype that he designed, and I'll show it to you, and then you can look at it. And his genital area is a little Fat Albert instead of.
Oh, it sure is. Look at that.
Fat Albert is the character that Bill Cosby created and were voiced anyway.
Well, he did a great job.
So he's actually proposing this. He wants to replace, and you know this is never going to happen. He wants to replace the one in Disney, in the Disney resort. There's a statue of Bill Cosby apparently down there, and he wants to replace. There's no way that Disney is going to allow a naked statue of Bill Cosby.
No, with Fat Albert.
When Pee Wee Herman got in trouble, you remember?
Yes.
Now Pee Wee Herman's trouble was because he was in a movie theater.
Adult movie theater.
Molesting himself.
XXX movie theater.
Right.
I mean, it was an adult theater.
Okay. Molesting himself. He wasn't molesting other people.
Yeah, no.
Which we don't know that Bill Cosby was either, but lots of ladies say he was.
Yeah, it seems to be, so get rid of his statues.
All right, let's take a little break and be right back. This is WOCA Ocala.
Fox News Radio, I'm Steve Rappaport.
I want to apologize. I said I was traveling in an aircraft that was hit by RPG fire. I was instead in a following aircraft.
His mea culpa didn't cut it.
NBC confirms it is suspending Brian Williams as the nightly news anchor and managing editor without pay until at least August. NBC News President Deborah Turnus saying his actions were inexcusable.
Fox Radio's Michelle Polino. President Obama is expected today to ask Congress to authorize the use of force against ISIS.
White House Chief of Staff Dennis McDonough and White House counsel Neil Eggleston briefed lawmakers from both sides of the aisle on the resolution. Lawmakers insist it's necessary because the administration can't go to battle overseas without a congressional blessing.
Fox's Chad Pergram. What would you do with that loot?
Probably travel a bit and live a happy life.
Tonight's Powerball jackpot swelling to an estimated $485 million. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Fox News Early Prime, breaking down business news and its impact on your bottom line. Your World with Neil Cavuto.
That's how I do business. That's why I am business.
Bold positions and brash opinions on the topics America is buzzing about. The Five.
How do you think this will set in with the American people?
This will be the pulse of the nation.
Washington insight and political know-how from the best in the Beltway. Special report with Brett Bay.
The epicenter of the political world is here.
The number one place for fair and balanced coverage. Fox News Channel.
What's wrong with working hard to make our lives and our kids' lives better? Nothing. At Fox Business, we don't have a problem with success. We have a very big problem with those who get in the way of it. We don't come out of the box bashing those who make money, just the politicians stealing it and the bureaucracies wasting it. We're not just sitting behind a desk. We're out in the field, on the floor, with the folks. Because when a story moves forward, so do we.
Fox Business, the power to prosper. Check your local listings.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Do you have areas that have started sagging or drooping? Is what you're looking at not quite the same as it was years ago? Are there enhancements you've been putting off? Is there serious damage you need fixed? Then call on us, Damage Control Services, when your roof is sagging and the drywall is drooping after a storm, or your home just needs some enhancements. From damage repairs to new construction, Damage Control Services is here to help.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to join me Thursday at 11 a.m. for Health Matters. Ocala Health and Strive have teamed up to bring you the latest information on good health services available to you right here at home. This vital information will help you make informed decisions about your health. So don't forget to join me here at 11 a.m. Thursday. It's news you can use from Ocala Health Strive, and your friends here at WOCA.
Your home is safe, or is it? AA Lock, Dock, and Security. The name has been a staple in Ocala since 1985. Do you have the right equipment in place to have peace of mind when you are at home or away? AA Lock, Dock, and Security has the right people to install and monitor your home or business. Call today for a free on-site security analysis. Call 867-1965. AA Lock, Dock, and Security, 219 Northwest 10th Street, 867-1965.
Your weekends are getting a little retool.
Swear to God, not making a joke.
Check this out. New shows? Check. Some new talent? Check. Let's welcome the guys.
Let's get it going.
Arnie Spanier.
Unbelievable.
TJ Reeves.
This is what you get.
Your weekends are on fire. Because that's how exotic it is.
One of the most common questions those nearing retirement are asking: will I outlive my money? Retirement questions like these and many more will be answered every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement with hosts Francois and Julian Pozenet. Francois and Julian will help you put your retirement puzzle together. Catch Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement Saturdays at 9 a.m. on Ocala's News Talk, The Source 96.3 FM and 1370 AM.
All right, 25 minutes before 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Wednesday morning. You made it to the middle of the week. It's 40 degrees out there. It dropped a degree, Robin, since about
Wow.
10 minutes ago.
There you go.
40 degrees.
Gosh.
All right, some things in the news. Do I have to mention any ribbon cuttings or anything like that?
Nope, there isn't anything now till next week.
Let's see. Police have questioned Nick
19th.
Gordon, the boyfriend of Bobby Christina Brown, about bruises on her chest after she was found unresponsive in a bathtub. This is the daughter of singer-entertainer Bobby Brown and the beautiful late Whitney Houston. The daughter of the two of them was found in a bathtub January 31st, and I guess she's been unresponsive ever since, right?
Yes.
Daphne Barrick said Gordon told her that the bruises were a result of him performing CPR on her. Brown, the daughter of Bobby Brown and the late Whitney Houston, as I just said, remains in a medically induced coma in the neurointensive care unit at Atlanta's Emory University Hospital. So that's the latest I have on that particular story. All right, so I wanted to talk to you, debate with you about the DUI checkpoint laws. And what do you think about them changing them so that a person who's pulled over or is at a DUI checkpoint does not have to roll down the window and communicate with the police officer? Okay, so let's just jump into that one. I can do the other one, Florida, Texas. If this one doesn't take up the whole segment, then I'll do the Florida, Texas thing because that's kind of comical more than anything. All right, but this is what is being it is really not being proposed. It is being cited as a right. So let's look at this for a second. Drivers at drunken driving checkpoints don't have to speak to police or even roll down their windows. They just have to place their driver's license and registration on the glass, along with a note saying they have no comment.
That's wrong.
And that they won't permit a search, and they want a lawyer. That is, according to an attorney named Warren Redlich, Redlich. He says the commonly used checkpoints violate a driver's constitutional right.
Oh, gee.
He and an associate have created a website detailing their tactics. They've even made videos, one viewed more than 2 million times on the internet. We did look it up one time when John Fuller was here once before. I think John had a caller, I'm pretty sure he did, asking about this. And I quickly looked it up that day and had no idea how big this story was. Anyway, Redlich, Redlich, Redlich of Boca Raton said his goal is not to protect drunken drivers, but to protect the innocent. He says some of his clients who passed breath alcohol tests still faced DUI charges because the officer said he detected an odor of alcohol or the person had slurred speech. Mm-hmm. The point of the card, he says, You are affirmatively asserting your rights without having to speak to the police and without opening your window. Of course, it does not sit well with law enforcement officials who insist that drivers must speak in order to make the checkpoints work. And they point out the U.S. Supreme Court ruling from 1990, which upheld the use of random DUI checkpoints, concluding they don't violate constitutional protections against unreasonable search and seizure. Sheriff David Shore of St. Johns County, he's also the president of the Florida Sheriff's Association, said they wouldn't be allowed out of that checkpoint until they talk to us. We have a legitimate right to do it. If I was out there, I wouldn't wave them through. I would talk to that person more now. The video was made back in December at a checkpoint in Levy County. Not too far from here, right?
Mm-hmm, that's right.
Which is Williston.
Yeah.
By an associate of Redlick, whose name is Jeff Gray. In that video, Gray approaches the officers with a flyer, his driver's license, and his registration and insurance card in a plastic bag dangling outside the slightly opened car window. Mm-hmm. The officers briefly examine it with a flashlight and then allow him to continue. In bold type, the flyer says, "I remain silent, no searches, I want my lawyer." Police across the state of Florida have seen the video. A spokeswoman for a large metropolitan police agency, I don't know why it didn't say, in Broward County, says Gray's experience at the checkpoint doesn't mean the no-talk tactic is legitimate. Mm-hmm. Here's a quote from Vita Coleman Wright, a spokeswoman for the Broward County Sheriff's Office. She says he was allowed to proceed because he clearly was not driving while intoxicated. If those officers had reasonable suspicion to believe that the driver was impaired, they would have investigated further. And I just wanted you to hear everything that I read this morning before we offer commentary, okay?
Okay.
But I do want commentary. If you want to call in on this, go ahead. The number is 622-9622. It'll take me just another minute to read the rest of this. There have been other incidents of motorists refusing to speak at DUI checkpoints around the country. In the Southwest, some drivers resist cooperating at Border Patrol checkpoints miles from the Mexican border that are aimed at finding illegal immigrants. Based on differences in DUI laws, Redlick has created versions of his flyer for 10 states with more on the way. There are no comprehensive statistics on how many drunken drivers get caught at checkpoints, which are usually announced publicly in advance and must adhere to a strict set of court-approved rules. By the way, we get them here.
Yes.
We announce them here.
Exactly.
And we've often thought, why do we announce these things? Wouldn't somebody who was driving drunk avoid them now that it's been announced?
Yeah.
But I guess that's the law. You have to announce them, or you have to make them public.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
The Miami-Dade Police Department uses a neutral method of selecting which drivers get stopped, such as every single vehicle or maybe every third vehicle. Mm-hmm. The Miami Police Department uses the shoot method, in which 10 cars are randomly diverted from a busy thoroughfare to a side road and checked simultaneously by officers, followed by 10 more. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's never happened to me.
No.
I've never been someplace, and I've often wondered, how do they do that? How do they pull over 10 people at once? I've seen this on the side of the road where you've seen it, right?
Yeah, I've been through it, and I've seen the officers waving cars, but I never got waved. I was always straight on.
Yeah, I got stopped one time in Texas, I believe, and they just was seeing. It didn't look like it was a DUI thing. It looked like it was a contraband thing, like looking for illegal stuff. Uh-huh. Like who knows what, bad oranges or something.
If you're innocent, you shouldn't be miffed at being stopped. They're not going to get you because you're innocent.
Let's see. Legal experts say it's unclear whether Redlick's tactics will hold up in court. A former Miami state and federal prosecutor by the name of David Weinstein, who is now in a private practice, said most states consider driving a privilege and drivers give up some rights by accepting that privilege.
That's right.
That's how I feel too. I feel that way too.
I agree. their safety for the other people that aren't in your
when
vehicle.
our founding fathers decided that there would be no search and seizure, they had no idea there was going to be cars traveling down the road at 80 miles an hour that could be operated by people who are intoxicated.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
So I would love to hear what you have to say. If we don't have much of a debate, then I guess our opinion is your opinion. I'm guessing everybody agrees with this. And then we can talk about the other thing, which is the war between Florida and Texas, which is kind of a silly topic. But this is a serious one. And do you want this? Do you want this ability? Do you think this is right? My thought is this, that it's not right, that there should be some legal obligation on the part of a driver to communicate verbally with a police officer by rolling down the window and or getting out of the car if the police officer asks.
Oh, sure.
I really think so. I mean, I don't feel like I've been driving since I was 18 or 17, I guess, 17. And I've never felt that, I mean, I've been put out a little bit. I've been pulled over for what I thought was no reason, mostly in the state of New Jersey, by the way.
Yeah.
And mostly probably because I was a kid and in a Florida car and my car was junky.
You had long hair.
I had long hair. So
that was a stigma
I was a
back then.
profile. But I was never absolutely put out by it. I have some comical stories from that. But at the same time, I mean, if one person's life is saved because one police officer detects alcohol in somebody's breath, hello?
Yes.
That's all I need to know. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Sunshine today with a high of 64 to 68, then clear and chilly tonight. Those ranging from the upper 30s in a few inland spots to 45 along the coast. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and breezy with a high of 68 to 72. Then on Friday, mostly sunny and noticeably cooler with highs ranging from the mid-50s in the northernmost part of the zone to the low 60s in the south. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Where did you sit when the dust settled?
Richard Petty goes back in front. They both spin. They're in the wall.
Where did you sit when the tempers flared?
And now it appears we may have a fist fight. Drivers and helmets.
Or when standing ovation took on a whole new meaning?
All the pit crews out on pit lane to salute Dale Earnhardt, who is...
Well, from where we sit, this Daytona 500 is the chance of a lifetime. Because this is your final opportunity to experience the great American race from some of the classic seats that have witnessed some of the most famous moments in racing history. And it's your first chance to say hello to the future in all new grandstands where fans will bear witness to all the legendary moments yet to come. So where will you sit this February 22nd? Don't miss your one and only chance to experience Daytona at a unique moment in history. The Daytona 500, Sunday, February 22nd. To guarantee your seats, call 1-800-PIT-SHOP or visit Daytona500.com.
Ocala's only home of gigantic jumbo trees, Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens is having a super 20% off sale this week. That means that all trees, every last one of their huge selection, is marked down 20% or more. Take your pick. Extra large trees up to 8 feet as low as $49.99. Prices vary all the way up to super gigantic jumbo shade trees. Super low prices, and all are delivered, planted, and guaranteed for one super low price. And yes, the camellias are blooming, so even if you're not in the market for a tree, come to the Camellia Show any day now through April and stroll this magnificent 5.5-acre garden. Plus, you get 20% off everything you buy this week. We'll see you this week at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, Southeast 38th Street, Ocala, daily till 4, Saturdays till 2. Homegrown, locally owned since 1952.
So you need a credit card, but how do you choose? Let's compare the big banks to Florida Credit Union. They have rewards, and we do too. They have customer service. Hello, 24/7. They have celebrities. Hey, Danny. But with Florida Credit Union, there's no annual fee, no liability for fraudulent charges, and no 22% interest rates. Choose Florida Credit Union, and you'll not only have a great credit card, but you'll have the support and personal touch that the big banks, well, can't touch. Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life. Federally insured by the NCUA.
All right, 12 minutes before 8 o'clock. It helps if I push the right button, huh? 12 minutes before 8 o'clock, 40 degrees here at the Source, WOCA. Thank you for tuning in. Nice looking Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we had 2 calls during the break, and both people agreed that police should have the authority and drivers should have the obligation, that it's not a violation of the search and seizure portion of the Constitution.
Right.
So
exactly.
So that's it. I guess we'll just move on with something else. Anyway, it is something that is being debated and considered, and interesting that the video is in Levy County. I guess I didn't realize that when I watched it. So. But look it up for yourself. You'll see what they're talking about, and don't just assume that you can do this. By the way, just because this lawyer says you can do this, I would be reluctant to just assume you can do this. And I guess if they have no reason to believe you're intoxicated, then I guess. And it sounds like this is more for the checkpoints than for the vehicle that's pulled over because they're swerving.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody's driving poorly and the police officer, the highway patrolman, whoever, thinks this person might be under the influence of something, even lack of sleep.
Oh, yeah.
Should be. A lack of sleep really should. I don't know what the law says about that, or how a police officer can determine that a person is driving with a lack of sleep, aside from simply asking, how long has it been since you fell asleep? You've taken a nap or whatever. Now, see, right there's a good example. Let's say a police officer pulls somebody over because they're swerving, because the person has been driving for 12 hours straight or something like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Okay, so they pull them over, they're swerving, and the guy says, okay, I'm not getting out of the car, here's my license and everything like this. Okay. The police officer can't just let him go. I mean, he has to find out if that person is intoxicated. Okay, so now the guy gets out of the car, passes the breathalyzer test, passes the observation test, because when you step out of a car, suddenly you wake up. Your body's waking up. You realize you're being pulled over. You got the lights behind you. Your adrenaline starts pumping, and you're shaken out of your sleepy state. Correct?
Yes.
Doesn't this happen?
Sure it does.
All right. The police officer has no way of knowing why you might have been swerving, but he does know you have been swerving, which is why I love the dashboard cams.
Yeah.
Because the dashboard cams are a way to say, this is why I was pulling him over, Your Honor.
Yeah.
You know? And I think there should be some way of saying, look, if you were swerving, you obviously haven't been drinking, you don't seem to be intoxicated in any way. Do you think it could be from a lack of sleep? Or are you on any medications? Which I don't know if those tests prove that or not. My suggestion would be, here, there's an exit up ahead. I'll escort you and pull into a parking lot and take a nap or whatever. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'd love to hear from a police officer about that. But anyway, those are my thoughts. Nobody seemed to disagree with our opinion that the attorney who wants to make it across the board that if you're at a checkpoint, you don't need to roll down your window, you just hold up your information. The 2 people who called seem to agree with us that shouldn't go through. So
right.
Now I'll go to another subject. And I have a soundbite for the next subject.
Good.
Couple of them. You like soundbites?
Yes,
right.
I do.
All right, so is Scientology, this is an interesting subject actually, is Scientology corrupting the state of Florida? Are we being influenced legislatively by money from the Church of Scientology? Now, don't jump on me for saying that. This is a question that is being asked by a movie that's coming out next month called Going Clear. Going Clear. Let's see. Going Clear will be on, I guess, sometime in March, and then later on in September it'll be on Vimeo. But HBO is slated to debut the documentary March 16th, Going Clear. Premiered last month at the Sundance Film Festival. It's based on Lawrence Wright's best-selling book of the same name, which came out in 2013. The movie and the book profiles 8 former members of the Church of Scientology exploring the psychological impact of blind faith, how the church attracts new followers, and how it attains its A-list celebrity devotees, whom we love, by the way. We're not picking on them.
And we've spoken to a lot of A-list Scientologists.
I know. So I don't know. I'm just telling you what this is saying. The film, what's it called again?
Going Clear.
Thank you. Takes a look at the controversial and secretive Church of Scientology. I was telling the story the other day. one of the events we did downtown. We were walking around taking pictures, taking video, and I sat next to the Scientology office downtown, and a gentleman came out, and he started speaking to me, and I'm just walking around, I'm taking pictures, and I just got tired, so I'm sitting on your railroad ties.
Right, we were taking a break.
All right,
we were having a snack.
And he said, well, would you like to come in? We got some reading material. We can give you a massage. I said, oh, no. I don't need any of that. I'm fine. I have whatever religion I have, it's fine.
Yeah.
I don't need any more. I'm fine with you guys. Okay, I'm okay with you guys. But
that's right.
But he wanted me to come in, and I said to the guy, I said, if you're trying to recruit people, you know, I don't know if you noticed this, but all of the other religious things have wine.
Yes.
You guys don't have wine. That might help with recruits. I don't know. It's just a thought.
Exactly.
And he didn't even laugh. I was trying to make him laugh, but he didn't even find it funny.
No, he just he gave up finally.
All right. So anyway, this is not a conversation about Scientology, but it is a subject that came up from some people in Texas who said Florida is going cuckoo because of the Scientology. Well, I live here. I don't see this happening.
Yeah.
I don't see this happening.
Yeah.
All right. So that leads me to this. This is a funny subject, actually. Let's see. There were two congressmen. One, Michael Burgess, who was a Republican from the state of Texas. And he was debating another congressman, Alcee Hastings, from South Florida. He's a Democrat. So a Republican debating a Democrat.
There you go.
And they were debating the health care laws. Alcee Hastings then made this statement. Here's the soundbite.
We might be talking about an entirely different...
Had the administration worked with the governors, had the governors worked with the administration, we might not be in this position. I don't know about in your state, which I think is a crazy state to begin with, and I mean that just as I said it.
All right, so that's the statement right there, that Texas is a crazy state, and he says, I mean it just as I said it. All right. So that led to numerous articles about that exchange, to which the following was printed in, oh my goodness, what paper is this from? Oh, from CBS. This is from the CBS website. This is what they're writing. The vicious cult of Scientology has been embraced and supported by Florida. The home base is Clearwater, where they practically own the entire town. Hello? What? Anyway,
We've been there a lot.
So Alcee Hastings made that statement, and they didn't like it in Texas, and now they're blaming Scientology for this, which is interesting thing. So I have one other soundbite, and your phone calls are important, so I see somebody calling in. Let me take the call. Just hang on there, if you don't mind. Just another. Let's see. This is a 15-second soundbite. This is. I think this is the other congressman. This is Michael Burgess. I think. Here we go.
The chair asked a very defamatory statement about my state, and I will not stand here and listen to it.
Well, fine. Then you don't have to listen. You can leave if you choose. I told you what I think about Texas. I wouldn't live there for all the tea in China, and that's how I feel.
There's you go. There's the war between Florida and Texas. What the heck?
Yeah, exactly.
These guys get paid a lot of money. Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy.
All right.
They and their assistants.
Good morning. You're on the air.
You gotta love Alcee Hastings. He is a former judge who was disgraced and removed from the bench for unethical behavior. And you know how hard it is to remove a judge. You have to be doing some pretty big time shenanigans to get kicked off of there. But he lives in South Florida, and his constituents in his district chose him to represent them, even though he's got bad character and he obviously doesn't have very good critical thinking skills, but his constituents feel like he's a good representative for them, so that's fine. And he is a quote machine. And he said Texas was crazy. Well, whatever. Texas is fine with me. But what's really funny is that California used to be called the land of fruits and nuts. And Larry, I apologize because I know you lived there for a while, but California used to be the wacky state,
Yes.
But if you look at the news and if you look at these funny videos they play on TV, I mean, let's just be honest. I love living in Florida. I've lived here, since I was a kid. But Florida has become one of the wackiest states in the union, and Al C. Hastings is just another fine citizen representing the craziness of Florida. And I'll let somebody call and defend Florida now. Thank you, Larry.
All right, thank you. But is it fair to pin it on Scientology? That's the other part of this too. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't think so, because there's all kinds.
I doubt
of
that Al C. Hastings
religions.
I doubt that Al C. Hastings is a Scientologist.
Yeah, just because Scientologists are out there,
Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. I know Al C. Hastings. He's not a Scientologist.
I wouldn't think so.
Years, even when he was a lawyer, long before he became a judge. And Al C. Hastings does not fudge on his opinion. He shoots from the
I guess
hip
not.
like a lot of people do. He's very similar to Alan Grayson. I admire the man a lot. I've known him for so long. I mean, like I say, I've known him a long, long time. As a matter of fact, we've even worked together on a couple of things. He's not perfect. A lot of people are not perfect.
And he doesn't like Texas.
I think you're right in terms of the Scientologists taking over Florida. People, I don't know about that. I mean, people are going to say what they want to say. Some people would argue that the Southern Baptists have. So I don't know.
You're right. I know. Well, isn't it interesting how people from somewhere else have figured out an entire state,
Exactly.
And we do the same thing, I guess.
But I think that was more if you know Al C. Hastings, that was kind of more tongue-in-cheek and to get this guy's adrenaline pumping.
And he did, too.
Than anything.
Yeah, he was ticked off, for sure.
Have a good one.
Thank you, Lenny. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Our embassy in Yemen evacuated as the security situation deteriorates.
U.S., France, and Britain say they're closing their embassies due to the turmoil there. Shiite rebel Houthis seized the capital of Sana'a in September and solidified their power grab by dissolving parliament after seizing the presidential palace and prime minister's house. The president and cabinet later resigned. Houthi rebels armed with Kalashnikov rifles can be seen patrolling the street.
Fox Radio's Jessica Gallagher opening statements in Texas in the trial of the ex-Marine accused of killing Chris Kyle, the Navy SEAL depicted in the movie American Sniper. And put on pause over at NBC, news anchor Brian Williams suspended for 6 months without pay.
Williams apologized last week for saying he was in a helicopter that was hit by a grenade while covering the war in Iraq in 2003. He was actually in another chopper, which was not hit.
Fox's Jackie Ibanez. Fox News. We report, you decide.